afternoon to all of you. And first of all, I'd like to thank Professor Anna Paula Girol and Professor and all the team. And also, I'd like to congratulate the team for this very interesting conference. And it is an honor for me to share some data with you. Thank you. So in this talk, I will be talking about some bio-nano products for health and disease, and to give you a broad scope. So we are based in Portugal, Aveiro, Portugal. That is in the north center of Portugal. And in this city, there is our University of Aveiro, that is which face a lagoon. There is a lagoon. And in this lagoon, there are several activities, such as, for example, boating and fishing and other. These are paintings in the boats. They are handmade, typical from this region. There is also this species that is called Salicornia ramosissima, which is called the green salt, and it is commonly used at gastronomy at the region. In this city, Aveiro, we have also the Art Nouveau, different buildings with these paintings, typical paintings and typical design. So, as I told you, there is a lagoon, and also within this lagoon there is an exploration of salt, and salt is very important, and our university is near this lagoon, and plenty of buildings, each one belonging to one department or courses, and each building was constructed by famous architects. So please, when you are welcome to visit our place. And a little bit about some delicacies made by egg yolk and sugar only. In this lagoon, there are several species, but the most famous is anguilla, which is very common as well. So I am in the Department of Medical Science, and these are other buildings in our university. I've been studying some effects of heavy metals, natural products, pharmaceuticals, pesticides, nanomaterials, which are most of them contaminants and affect the public health. And in addition, I belong to the associate laboratory called CICECO, that is an institute of materials. And there are several lines of research. For example, the biomaterials, nanoparticles and nanocomposites for biomedical applications. And also there is another line that is in vitro and in vivo efficacy of drugs and drug delivery systems. So this belongs to one line called biomimetic and biomedical materials. We know that several contaminants, most of them are emergent contaminants can affect, as Professor Viranotte already told, different areas, affect the human health, animal health, and also the environment. So we have to develop some strategies to avoid or to combat these problems. Very recently, we, in this group, we participate in a science summit of the United Nations on acanthamoeba, how to defeat acanthamoeba. And because, as Professor Viranotte already told us, there are infections, and these infections are spreading worldwide, and for this reason, some bio-nanoproducts were highlighted for innovative therapies. One of them is, as already mentioned, Garcinia mangostana and their effects against acanthamoeba, both against trophozoites and the cyst form. So the traditional medicine can be combined with modern medicine because it is effective, and there is some risk of side effects, but we can also test to minimize them. In addition, we can also use nanoparticles, and nanoparticles coupled with phytochemicals to try to combat some pathologies. For example, some nanoparticles, some nanoscale structures can interfere with the nuclei, can interfere, for example, with the mitochondria function, or even at the membrane region. So they can induce DNA damage and several other mechanisms. So we can use these properties of some nanomaterials and coupled with phytochemicals. So there are some sources of natural biopolymers for nanomedicine applications, such as bio-based polymer nanocarriers. For example, we have alginate, cellulose, chitosan extracted from these animals, and other materials. And we can, this is an abstract showing some natural biopolymers from microorganisms, alginate, galaxians, starch, cellulose, gum, arabic, chitosan, and hyaluronic acid as well. So we can use some of them and combine with nanomaterials. In this work, PLGA nanoparticles loaded with gallic acid were used against acanthamoeba, as Professor Viranotte already showed us. And this nanotechnology is effectiveness, there is efficacy and less cytotoxicity. So it is, it's possible to control the rate of drug release as well. But we, in our group, and some of the authors are present in this conference, some authors of these papers. And we have used another species that is Ocimum santum, against, to show, to underline the antibacterial activity. So in this work, this plant was used. Some extracts were already made, and some essays, micro essays, were also made to show their antibacterial activity. There is also another paper showing, from our group, showing the effects of the green synthesis, another process of nanoliposomes containing another species, that is Bunium persicum, and another one, but essential oils. So essential oils were used against Trichomonas vaginalis. These pictures were obtained by fluorescence microscopy. And there is also another bio-nanomaterials used to pack the food properly. This must have antimicrobial properties for active packaging. So, which are the most common materials? They are natural extracts, for example, polymers, fungicides, enzymes, organic acids, and nanoparticles. So the use of these are combined, and this combination has shown some promising results. In addition, there is also some bio-based materials for containers, of food containers. For example, PCL or PVA that are commonly used. These materials for chitosan-derived composites are also used for food packing. And also proteins, carbohydrates, synthetic polymers, inorganic nanoparticles like silver, zinc oxide, for example, and titanium dioxide. Those biopolymers and other bioproducts are very useful. For example, when we manage with fruits and legumes, as this paper shows us. So in here, there is incorporation of antimicrobial components loaded with nanocarriers in food packing. And here we can see non-toxic nanocomposite films made with cellulose acetate, and down the fabrication of some scavengers for active packing of fresh food, but in order to delay the ripening. So these strategies are also used to protect our health and to keep the food safety, the safety of the food. So, some challenges in the food industry have been happening with the use of nanocomposites. For example, here we can see the role of antimicrobial biodegradable films made of thermoplastic corn starch and chitosan oligomers. So these are commonly used to preserve some food items. And here we can see, for example, the use of some nanomaterials and nanocomposites with antimicrobial activity in order to protect. And these materials are also used for other medical applications. Another nanomaterials that we have used for different purposes coupled with phytochemicals. We have published some papers, and once again, some authors of these papers are present in this conference. So there are some nanoformulations for skin, human skin diseases, and also for urogenital disorders. There is also, we have published also this paper where nanophytopharmaceuticals for many therapeutic applications with the process of encapsulation. In this proposal, some bioactive compounds from herbal extracts of curcuma longa and Panax ginseng were used into various or several nanoparticle platforms to facilitate delivery to target areas in the brain and from the blood. And this technique improves solubility and increases the retention rates. In this sequence, some nanomaterials such as nanomicelles, solid lipid nanoparticles, liposomes, PLGA nanoparticles were also used, were also encapsulated for different infections, for different pathological conditions. For example, here we can see a demonstration of their effects on lung infections. Some of these nanoformulations were also reported. For example, polymeric materials coupled with curcuma longa against this parasite, that is Entamoeba histolytica, and some others. So, encapsulation of bioactive compounds is used to improve delivery and in the gastrointestinal tract. And also some nanoparticles, different ones, silver, gold, polymeric nanoparticles have been used for this purpose. In the other area, for example, in the cancer medicine, in this disease, phytonanomedicine is also a very common area. And several phytochemicals have been approved for clinical trials in this area. For example, such as curcumin, quercetin, piperine, genistein, and others with promising results. Also, curcumin, propolis, and cinnamon, and especially those essential oils have been used as biofilm eradication. So there are different species and different nanomaterials or nanocomposites to be explored in the future. But these bio-nanoproducts are very used, are very common, but there are some possible concerns because some results from in vitro are not matching properly with in vivo experiments because the assays are different and it is sometimes difficult to compare the results. So it is important, as today was already mentioned in some talks, that different assays must be done, such as in silico, in vitro, different in vitro models, modern models, biomimetic models, as Professor Sylvia mentioned this morning. So it is important to use different models to calculate their effects. And also, there is some concerns about the safety of nanomaterials. And this safety depends on the size, depends on the surface, the charge, and some other features of these materials. And there are some reports that these materials, nanomaterials, can be dangerous for some organs, tissues, and systems, not only for humans, but also for animals and other living systems. One important strategy is to design safer nanomaterials, for example, and there are also other strategies as well, but in fact, natural products play a pivotal role in the new therapy development. So bio-nanoproducts are sources for innovative therapies. But future studies must consider the synergistic effects of them. And bio-nanoproducts have multiple potential effects and can be used as a global, on the global health. And as Professor Viranot already told, there is this concept of One Health to use and to pay attention. And also, we aim to get some of these goals, especially the number 3, good health and good well-being. For example, another one is good, the 17 as well, and we can consider 1 or 2 in addition. And finally, I'd like to thank, first of all, Professor Ana Paula and all the team that is organizing this conference with very importance, and also different colleagues from different labs in our research group from different countries, different places, different areas as well as a team. And with this group, I would like to thank all these collaborators for the research that we have been done. And also, I'd like to thank all of you for your attention. Thank you.